What's going on, guys? Jake Bully with BarBend.com. Today we're going to be doing another protein bar review, and we're going to be looking at the RXBAR. Since their start back in 2013, RXBAR has gone through a lot of changes as a company, but one thing that's remained consistent is their bars themselves. Today we're going to be looking at the nutrition, we're going to do a taste test, where we break down the texture, pros, cons, and then the price that come along with the RXBARs. As you can see, we have a lot of flavors, and I'm going to write individual reviews for each flavor in the written review, but for our video, we're going to do a taste test of one bar, the blueberry bar that's usually very popular amongst strength training circles. So now let's dive into the taste test. So as I mentioned before, in this video we're going to be doing one physical taste test, but as you can see we have a lot of flavors here. Throughout the past couple weeks I've been trying each flavor and giving them my full rundown and objective viewpoint. We have chocolate sea salt, we have coconut chocolate, coffee chocolate, mixed berry, peanut butter, apple cinnamon, pumpkin spice, which is seasonal, and we have, of course, blueberry. So for this video, I'm going to be trying the blueberry bar, which seems to be one of the more mainstream bars. If you go to, like, let's say your Walmart, your Target, or let's say you're at the airport, they tend to have this flavor for whatever reason. Blueberry is very popular, so I want to give it a try. So one thing I always like to keep in mind when trying RXBARs is that they're very chewy. And I apologize for the amount of chewing I'm going to be doing in this video, but this is the blueberry bar. It has blueberry bits in it, which I really like. It reminds me somewhat of like a muffin when you get those little blueberry dents in there and you like bite on it and kind of like push it out more flavor. And this bar does a very good job at captivating a blueberry taste. And I like that there's physical almonds and nuts in it. And it adds a nice texture to it as well. All in all, in terms of actually exemplifying a blueberry taste, I would say this is an 8 out of 5, 9 out of 10. That's very good at getting the blueberry taste. It's very chewy. I like the texture. I like having a little bit of hard nuts to crunch on while chewing on the chewier bar. So 8 out of 5, 9 out of 10 for taste test for the blueberry bar. Alright, so now let's talk texture of the blueberry bar. So as I mentioned in the taste test, it is a little more chewy. If we actually hold it like this, you can see that the bar actually starts drooping towards the ground and having gravity pull it. So you can see that there's different chunks in it, like blueberries, the nuts. If we break it apart, you can really see that it's that chewy texture. It really grips to itself. It has a little bit of a fluffy texture on the inside. Towards the outside, it's a little bit more smooth, as you can see. Now let's go into the chocolate sea salt, which you can see it actually has sea salt on the top. It has the nuts as well. If we break this bar apart, it's not as chewy as the blueberry, and I think that's from the flavoring itself. The chocolate sea salt is a little bit more firm, so it breaks apart a little bit easier. It's a little bit less on the chewy side too, but as you can see, there's a lot of consistency throughout each bar, but each one will vary a little bit when it comes to the actual chew and bite. All right, so now nutrition and ingredient information. In my written review, I'll dive a little bit more into each, but for this video, I'll cover a quick overview of the calories and macros that come with each bar, and then I'll also dive into the ingredients of each bar. So, caloric information. For all these bars, it's consistent across the board at 210 calories. Protein is also consistent at 12 grams. The fat varies between 7 to 10 grams, and then the carbs vary between 22 to 24 grams. So one thing to kind of keep in mind also with these bars is that they are a little bit higher in sugar. They come around like this bar, for example, is 15 grams of sugar. That's decently high for a 210 calorie snack, especially for a protein bar. But again, I think this bar is more supposed to be oriented towards just having a snack that's decently simple with ingredients, but also can fuel a workout or just get you through your day and provide you some energy. Let's cover the ingredients. So what's made RXBAR so popular? It could be arguably the no BS approach, which is basically they list all of the ingredients in the bar on the front, and the packaging hasn't really actually changed since their start in 2013. So for this bar, you can see on the front 3 egg whites, 4 almonds, 6 cashews, and 2 dates, with the no BS, of course. But if we turn it over to the back and read the ingredient list, we see dates, egg whites, almonds, cashews, blueberries, natural flavors. And this product contains eggs, almonds, and cashews, so obviously if you have any allergens to those ingredients or those foods, then I would definitely recommend looking into that before buying or consuming these bars. But those are the ingredients. It's pretty simple. The front pretty much tells you exactly what's in the bar. I like that for a simplistic approach, but the macronutrient breakdown isn't the ideal best for a full protein-oriented bar. Okay, so now what are some practical pros that come along with RXBARs? First, I think they're all pretty tasty. I think that each flavor gets the point across for what it's trying to get. So for example, this chocolate sea salt, it's gonna taste pretty much like that chocolate sea salt. There's not gonna be a really artificial sweetened taste. You're not gonna have like that synthetic kind of taste you can get with some of the sugar alcohol oriented protein bars. Second, I like that these bars actually don't melt that much in a backpack. When I'm commuting around and traveling a lot, I like to have a bar in my bag at all times just in case I'm super hungry one day. And these bars do a pretty good job at resisting melting. Granted, some of the chocolate oriented bars that have like the chocolate chunks, they melt a little bit, but all in all, I think they're pretty good with resisting that. Second, I like the simplistic nutrition approach. I like that they list all their ingredients. There's no BS. There's no ingredients on the back that you can't pronounce or you have to Google to find out what they actually do. I think it's a pretty cool feature, especially if you're on the go and you don't really have time to think about what you're going to grab and eat. These make it really easily. Last, I like that they're available in a lot of locations. So one thing RXBAR does really well is that they're available in a lot of locations where you're going to be traveling or on the go. I think they do a good job at providing bars at multiple locations. So if you're on the go, you need something simple, an RXBAR could be a good option. Alright, so now for a couple practical cons that I found with RXBAR. First, the caloric and macronutrient breakdown. Each bar is 210 calories and the protein comes in at 12 grams, carbs 22 to 24 grams, and fat 7 to 10 grams. In terms of if you're eating in a deficit or you don't have a lot of calories to spend, I think that's not the best breakdown, especially for only giving you 12 grams of protein for 210 calories. But that's just my opinion. Second, I think the bars are a little bit higher in sugar. Some protein bars are way higher than what these offer, which is around like 12 to 15 to 16 grams. But again, 15 grams of sugar for a snack of 210 calories, it's kind of on the higher end, especially if you're trying to, once again, eat in a deficit or really be mindful of how much sugar you're consuming throughout your day. Third, the price could be a turnoff for some. Each bar is going to range between $2.50 to $4. It's going to be a little more expensive if you're in the urban areas. So around like New York City, for example, you're going to pay around like $4 for one of these bars. That's kind of expensive for one bar. And then lastly, these bars are very chewy, so if you have any kind of issue with your teeth or you don't like getting stuff stuck back in your teeth, if you're at the gym or something like that, this may not be the best option, but that's a small, tiny detail, and it's going to only influence a very finite part of the population. So all in all, those are my practical cons that come along with RXBAR. Alright, so now a quick price breakdown. For individual bars, I mentioned in the cons section, but you can expect to pay around $2.50 to $4 depending on where you live. That's going to be based off of rural and urban areas. For a box of 12, you can expect to pay between like $21 to $25 depending on what outlet you're actually buying from. And then lastly, for a box of 4, you can expect to pay $7 to $9. If you buy more in bulk, it's obviously going to be a little bit more cost efficient, but that's the price breakdown in a nutshell. I'll dive a little bit more detail into the written review. That concludes my thoughts on the RXBAR. I like the taste of each bar and I like the practical approach to their simple ingredients, but I did have some drawbacks that come along with this bar. To read more of my full thoughts, click on the link below or search RXBAR and BarBend. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more protein bar related content and reviews.